Hey, I'm Jamie East, and today's episode of the Smart 7's brought to you by your nectar prices at Sainsbury's. These days it's hard to find value for money on your weekly shop, right? Well, maybe you're doing it wrong. You need to unlock the magic of your nectar prices at Sainsbury's. Every Friday, you can unlock up to 10 personalised discounts on things you love in the Nectar app. And the best part is that while nectar prices are for everyone, your nectar prices are just for you. So check your Nectar app and unlock your nectar prices to save more now. Enjoy your own personalised discount on things you love with your nectar prices at Sainsbury's. That's good food for all of us. The offer's for 18 plus, Nectar app required. Unlock up to 10 your nectar prices weekly. Available in supermarkets, online and in locals with Smart Shop. T's and C's apply. On today's Smart 7, Robert Jenrick sparks racism accusations, no progress so far in Gaza peace talks, and much more. It's Wednesday, 8th of October, it's World Octopus Day, and happy birthday, Bruno Mars.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
If the Tories were worried that no one would notice their conference was on this week, Robert Jenrick made sure that it was front-page news. He was accused of fueling a fire of toxic nationalism over comments made about a visit to Birmingham. His original comment made in March was that he didn't see another white face on a visit to Handsworth and that he didn't want to live in a country with no integration. Despite a storm of criticism and accusations of racism, he doubled down on Tuesday evening.
Look, I don't resile from those comments. I said this is not about the colour of someone's skin or the faith that they abide by. I want to live in a country which is well integrated.
Mel Stride was the only senior figure to criticise him, while Tory leader Kemi Badenoch said with no sense of irony that a lack of integration leads us to a dark place as a country. Meanwhile, Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philps was floating a new idea to enable the UK to break with the European Court of Human Rights, a proposal that judges should be elected. He says activist judges are slowing down the process of deportations.
Where you have things like the ECHR being very broadly and expansively interpreted by the courts in a way that stops Parliament and stops the government doing what the public has elected them to do. That poses, I think, a problem for democracy.
Tuesday marked the 2-year anniversary of Hamas's attack on Israel, which saw 1,200 people killed and sparked Israel's war on Gaza. Israeli forces continued an all-out assault on Gaza City on Tuesday with airstrikes and tanks in the streets. Talks continued in Egypt between a Hamas delegation and an Israeli delegation mediated by Qatar, with Donald Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff expected to arrive to help speed the process up. Israel's opposition leader Yair Lapid says there's no obstacle to the deal on the Israeli side.
Prime Minister Netanyahu has a security net from the opposition in order to do the deal, and there's no political obstacles whatsoever in doing this deal, and therefore it has to happen.
The UK saw protests take place in support of Palestine, despite requests to cancel them from Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson, who is campaigning to be Labour Deputy Leader, also felt Tuesday was not the day for protests.
There is much more that we need to do to tackle anti-Semitism in our society. I've heard directly from Jewish students about the impact that this has been having, and that's why it is essential that universities do more and act to protect students.
Ukraine has been stepping up its attacks on Russian energy targets over the last few weeks, causing serious fuel shortages for the Russian people. They're keen to get access to more long-range weapons too, requesting Tomahawk missiles from the US, and Donald Trump seemed to indicate he was open to the idea on Tuesday. The missiles have a range of over 1,500 miles, which would put Moscow in Ukraine's sights, and Russia's Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov was warning the US that it would be viewed as a serious escalation. Meanwhile, Estonia's Foreign Affairs Minister Margus Tsahkna says recent Russian incursions into their airspace have not caused any cracks in their commitment to NATO.
The violation of Estonian airspace for 12 minutes was so brutal we haven't seen before. But I can say that it has not changed the mentality in Estonia and our region as well, because we always knew that Russia is an aggressive country and NATO is working well.
Protesters outside and court injunctions have put asylum hotels in the spotlight across the summer, with the government pledging to end their use by the end of their term. Details emerged on Tuesday, however, of one company who has been awarded a 10-year contract to provide accommodation with the Home Office, which could see them paid up to £7 billion. Lib Dem MP Paul Kohler sits on the Home Affairs Select Committee and he says there needs to be much more scrutiny of government contracts.
It's a PPE-like problem. It's a failure of government to robustly negotiate with private providers. And suddenly, of course, once they had asylum seekers in hotels, there was no incentive and a huge disincentive to take them back out of the hotels.
Still to come on today's Smart 7 in association with Metro, Arsenal ponder big plans and Colin Farrell bounces back from a box office flop. Right after this.
Hey, it's Maya and Sim from the Girls That Invest podcast. If you are an IT or security pro, you know managing devices, identities, and applications can feel overwhelming and honestly risky. That's where Trellica by 1Password comes in. It helps conquer SaaS sprawl and shadow IT by discovering every app your team uses, managed or not. With pre-built app profiles, you can assess risk, manage access, and even optimize your software spend. Plus, it simplifies onboarding, offboarding, and compliance, all while cutting costs by eliminating unused licenses. Take the first step to better security for your team. Learn more at onepassword.com/special offer.
Welcome back.
Arsenal's women began their defence of their Champions League title on Tuesday. The Women's Champions League has had its format updated to match the men's, with the early rounds in a league format before the knockout stages. Arsenal women faced Juventus and the game finished 2-1 to the Italian side. Tuesday also saw reports that Arsenal are considering ambitious new stadium plans which would see the Emirates reborn with a 70,000 capacity to make it London's biggest club ground. Arsenal's women's captain Alessia Russo says she's excited about the potential at the club.
I'm not the most vocal leader, but I feel like I will always offer a bit of support and guidance if anyone would need it. So that's important to me too, because we have so many talented young players in this squad as well. So helping them achieve their full potential is something that, inspires me as well.
I know it's almost Halloween, but we seem to have a lot of horror and monster-based movies hitting the cinema. Maggie Gyllenhaal's The Bride just dropped its first trailer with a modern female take on the Frankenstein story. And now Guillermo del Toro's remake of the classic Frankenstein is on its way to cinemas. The cast were on the red carpet on Monday, and we learnt that the director doesn't see the movie as a horror story. It's got an all-star cast, including Jacob Elordi, who goes through an incredible transformation to play the creature, but he says he actually enjoyed the experience.
It felt right. Guillermo created such a free set. I hate when people say this, but he really created like a safe space, so it was creatively very liberating to be on that set. It wasn't like this idea that everyone has of being method, which is tortured and, suffering, and everyone else suffers so you can get a performance. It was a little different to that.
We've seen quite a bit of Colin Farrell recently, as he did the publicity circuit with Margot Robbie, promoting their fantasy rom-com A Big Bold Beautiful Journey. Unfortunately, not many people made the journey to the cinema to see the movie, which means it's pretty much bombed at the box office. Luckily, Colin is a busy boy and has a brand new project ready to go that has a pretty different vibe. It's called Ballad of a Small Player, and sees Farrell playing a gambler who runs out of luck until he gets help from a mysterious casino employee. It stars Farrell alongside Fela Chen and Tilda Swinton, and it hits cinemas next week, then Netflix at the end of October.
You're just a nice working-class Irish boy, in way over his head.
I'm about to win big, and when I do, I won't just pay my debts off, I'll pay yours too.
What I see is a man way beyond any redemption.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes, and we'll give you the world.
Hey, it's Maya and Sim from the Girls That Invest podcast. If you are an IT or security pro, you know managing devices, identities, and applications can feel overwhelming and honestly risky. That's where Trellica by 1Password comes in. It helps conquer SaaS sprawl and shadow IT by discovering every app your team uses, managed or not. With pre-built app profiles, you can assess risk, manage access, and even optimize your software spend. Plus, it simplifies onboarding, offboarding, and compliance, all while cutting costs by eliminating unused licenses. Take the first step to better security for your team. Learn more at onepassword.com/special offer.